Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'd like to take a moment and talk to you momentarily about celebration that we're looking forward to for the future together. My name is Andre Johnson, and I appreciate all the support and from the amazing community that we do have. Currently, I work for the Los Santos Police Department. I will tell you straight out and get that out front for you. But I'd like to think of it as opportunities to work for the citizens of San Andreas. Although I know I'm hearing what you're hearing is probably giving you some concern that yes, I do work for Los Santos Police Department. I want to dispel a few things for you. Since day one of flying into the city, my main goal has always been to make a change and improve the lives of those that live in the great state and protect those that would be needing protecting. When it comes to government and laws that are enacted and created, I'm sure that most of us think of it as a way to limit freedoms and put more money into the pockets of those who may already be there. I have seen that those that live on unemployment because of a few less than ideal decisions being weighed down and are forced to continue the life. I want to see real change when it comes to our correctional system. Being in law enforcement, I cannot tell you the amount of times I've seen an individual repeat the same mistakes because we do not value them as an individual, but we provide zero opportunity for them to rehabilitate themselves back into society. Instead, we push to send them off to Bolingbroke and hope that a few months will help them in the long run. Excuse me. I want to see those that struggle with addiction able to receive the help they need. Rehabilitation and progress for individuals that truly need and want help are few and far between in the state. The government imports new alcohol into the state each month, but we have zero ways of dealing with the addictions that it's causing. I do understand that we have Parsons Rehabilitation Center that recently opened with DHS, and I'm working with individuals that work up there, as well as individuals that hold meetings for those that need help and rehabilitation. With that being said, I would like to officially announce my run for governor from San Andreas. This would be a great opportunity to serve the diverse culture that we have and to make lasting impacts that set the precedents for our future and help. With my announcement to run for Governor San Andreas, one of the biggest things I hope to change is how our citizens are held subject to archaic and unfair bail conditions and things that are more lapse in judgment, rather than a life-altering event. Citizens of the state being held at Bolingbroke State Penitentiary for 10 times the sentence due to an exercise of their rights is simply unjust and not in line with the Sixth Amendment. If elected for governor, my first act is to push for fair treatment and bail conditions for an individual that exceeds their right to speedy trial. Furthermore, we hope to introduce a bail and parole and probation system that will allow for less time spent in Bolingbroke for nonviolent crimes and move the responsibility to the individual and hold them accountable for their actions. Along with myself running
I believe his ears popped. Give him a second. Oh, um, interesting. Alrighty, we apologize for the inconvenience here. I will take over his speech. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. So as he's in his speech, if elected for governor, my first act is to push for fair treatment and bail conditions for an individual that exercises their right to speedy trial. Furthermore, we hope to introduce a parole and probation system that will allow for less time spent in Bolingbrook for nonviolent crimes and move some of that time to a system that allows for personal accountability on part of the convicted individual. Along with myself running for governor, I have the pleasure of having Jennifer Sallison as my lieutenant governor. Okie This is where I would give my speech. Hello, great people of San Andreas. My name is Jennifer Sallison. I know you're all wondering and thinking who will be the new governor. We all know that being in such position, people expect change. I believe that change is very important. However, we must have leadership. To have change, we must have leadership. That is what will keep the community thriving and moving as a team. In addition to making change, we believe that the judiciary plays a big part in this great state's direction and decision making. Our goal is to open Wood Law School, which is in the construction stages and will serve as the state's premier law school. Currently, we have a few professors and advisors on board with the school, and we plan to make sure that every citizen is entitled to legal counsel that has the same schooling across the board. It is designed to make opportunities for those wishing to pursue a career in law, as well as standardize the knowledge that prospective certified San Andreas Bar Association members will have going in to take the bar. Our overall goal is to improve upon the current state of the judiciary, as well as helping those that are wanting to find employment in the judiciary system, coupled with implementing standardized schooling for our bar certified lawyers. When it comes to making society better, if elected, we plan to improve upon the current state of Department of Commerce and Labor and promoting small local businesses. You might be asking yourself, how will we do this? We will find balance in ensuring that every business is being charged the correct amount for their business. We realize that smaller businesses are almost identical to larger businesses when it comes to property tax. As far as utilizing their services, as far as promoting local small businesses, we plan to find a way that showcases the need for utilizing their services versus the LTD and a 24 gas station food. Lastly, we are aware of the divide between those that rely on the universal basic income and those that work at our local businesses. Moving forward, we would like to see more incentives for those to hold jobs, which will ultimately bring more money into everyone's pocket, benefiting the people of the state. I believe that Andre Johnson would be the best fit for his position because of his character, his critical thinking, and his goal to make society better, affording everyone to a better lifestyle. Thank you. Now, on the current state of Johnson's head pop, I'm not sure when he'll be waking back up, but at this time, I'll be glad to take questions and hopefully be able to answer questions. If not, we can most definitely re ask the question when Johnson officially wakes back up. At this current time, does anyone have any questions? Okay, let me just email Mr. Johnson and see when let me get his head back.
You know what? I'll ask you a question since someone else has
Sure.
volunteered. So you talked about the issue that we have with small businesses being treated like larger businesses as far as like property taxes and that kind of thing. What exactly do you propose to do? Like, if say you got office, what would you actually do to get that system in place where it could be a little bit more balanced?
Okay. So over the past few days that we've been doing our campaigning, we spoke with a lot of local businesses, and we have gathered an understanding that some businesses that are smaller are getting charged more money than the businesses that are bigger. And we think if we are elected in office, we will have the opportunity to talk with DOCL because I believe they're in the independent area. So if we have the chance to talk to them, maybe we can establish balance so that fairness can be applied. I believe communication is very important, and that's why government should really speak out on the issues concerning local businesses.
So,
I have a question.
Hi, Stella. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, my question is, what do you plan to do with violent criminals?
With violent criminals?
Yeah.
Well, we would hope that our law enforcement would be doing their great job and taking the opportunity to put people uh, in cuffs where need to be. However, we are trying to encourage a way that if people are being arrested, that they get help while they're in Bolingbrook. That's why when Andre was talking about his speech, having established prison system where people can go through parole, community service, something where they're not just going to look at a brick wall and not see the daylight, something that's going to provide them education and a way of looking at how to go better, have a better lifestyle. So, along with that, trying to introduce a rehabilitation that will also encourage a lesser crime rate.
So there will be therapy so people will be less violent.
Well, it can most definitely help those people that are needing help because, as the current status, there's really isn't any rehabilitation centers to help people in that kind of field.
to kind of expand upon that, what are some of like the actual tangible steps that you see as part of your rehabilitation reform, like kind of push?
Okay. Usually for that question, Andre would have more information. I'm going to answer it to the best of my
Mm-hmm.
ability. Um, we know that there's someone out there that holds, I believe it's called a AA group. Um, whereas they go over issues and people are going through a rough time and stuff like that. And we think that if we're elected in office, maybe we can have some government funding to establish upon that person's business, whereas they can group up together with that with this business and pretty much help each other out. I believe some of the things that they go over is alcohol use and drug use.
And is there any plans for like with that probation system, like what would that look like?
Well, okay, so the way I would answer that question is, if you're being sent for Bolingbrook, um, like I was saying earlier, we don't think people should be seeing a brick wall for years and years and years, or even months. We think that people should be given the opportunity whenever they want to go on parole and pretty much just live life. Addition to that, we also highly encourage the Speedy Act trial that the state reps are trying to push. However, we know that's been sitting on the governor's desk for quite some time and it hasn't been signed. So that is one of the things that we really want to push for, and it's going to help benefit some of the elements that we have stated today.
And so with the Speedy Trial Act, what about some of the concerns coming from the DOJ about their ability and to handle the caseload in that timely manner with scheduling issues being as prevalent as they are?
I would say as time has come, we really wouldn't have an answer to that. But I believe, you are right. People of the DOJ may have concerns whether they can get a case going with the amount of time that the bill is trying to propose. However, I personally think, if the DOJ can't pursue the case, it really should just be dropped because we have people sitting in Bolingbrook waiting for the nines after, continuance and continuance of cases. And I don't think that's fair that the person has to go through that. I believe there was a case where somebody was sitting in prison for a very, very long time, and the DOJ ended up dropping the charges. And there was no benefit to the person that had to go through that experience.
And so as part of that, is there plans to be able to offer reparations for time spent in custody despite, no charges being formally filed at the end of it?
I'm sorry, can you rephrase your question?
Is there like plans for a if that were to happen to somebody, right? They're in custody for a certain amount of time. Are they to be repaid in any way for the amount of time they've spent in custody for that? Is there plans for that? I know that is a thing in some jurisdictions.
Okay. I believe there should be compensation for sure.
Okay, yeah, cool. I hope to see some more plans about that. Hey, he's
Oh,
back.
it looks like we have Andre Johnson back.
Sorry about that. I had to
I
parachute in
have
and it
a
took a little while.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not sure how this will affect your chances of being elected, but which is your favorite My Little Pony character?
Um,
Rainbow
I don't
Dash.
have a My Little Pony character that I like. I'm not really familiar with the show, although I know what it is, but I'm not for sure what characters there are. If I have to say, I'll just say My Little Pony at that point.
Are you saying all of them?
I suppose all.
Do you even know one?
No, I do not. That's why I said I'm not really familiar with the show, but I've heard of it growing up.
Do you have a favorite color one?
Uh, Princess Luna, yeah.
Okay, so you at least know one name.
I do, sadly.
Oh, okay. Wait, who's your favorite?
If I had to guess and pick, I'd say Rainbow Dash.
Do you see yourself as Rainbow Dash?
Do I see
Like-
myself as
like,
Rainbow Dash?
Do you like Rainbow Dash because of like similarities or differences between you and Rainbow Dash?
I just, I don't know, I just kind of like them. They're kind of punky, and I like their tail.
Oh, okay, Tails.
Is there any more questions that the public would like to ask?
Yeah, I got one. Would you guys like to make a statement on the attempted murder on your guys' lives earlier today?
Honestly, it's I don't harbor any ill will towards the individuals. I'm never going to. That's just kind of me as a person. They have their reasons, and it is an ongoing investigation, so I can't really speak too much on it. And as well, I'm on LOA, so I don't know anything about it, except that they shot at us, and luckily we're good. It struck me once in the shoulder, just grazed, but medics and LSPD were there pretty quick, so I can't fault anybody for that. So,
Do you believe it was politically motivated?
I'd like to respond to that. I don't believe it was politically motivated because we are familiar with who did it, and it is because of multiple reasons of when we were in law enforcement. So I don't believe anything of his actions was in regards to the political. But I do think that with the rehabilitation that we are trying to establish, it can possibly help him in the future because of that system not being in place now. He's probably not able to get, that help, and that is what we are trying to encourage is people to get that help.
hopefully that kind of gives you the answer that was at least looked towards. So, if there's any other questions, by all means, feel free. Okay. We'll
Wait,
stick around.
I have
Yes.
a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your feelings towards the other candidates?
What are my feelings towards them? I wish them the best of luck, and I think that no matter what happens, Los Santos will be in a good state with anybody that's elected. Everybody's very strong in their
you
opinions.
agree with their values and whatever they're fighting for?
I have not had a chance to sit down and speak with them about every ins and out that they have as of yet, but that is on my list to do as soon as I can reach out to I believe Vlad is the only one that I have not spoken with. All right. If anybody has anything else, we'll stick around for a few minutes. Otherwise, we do appreciate everybody coming today. We do appreciate your time. Sorry for the little inconvenience there. And if you guys have anything, by all means, feel free to ask. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Wait, I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, am I allowed to ask it? Okay, never mind.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate everybody coming and your understanding.